This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. I am Laurence Cartier. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the sweetest Pete, Christara.
Mars, the specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
We are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. and you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not inaccurate.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's for Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings on the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Penta, I'm wrestling, and what?
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Pentacero.
That's called scatting, kids. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Bad Boris.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Cartier.
I'm Miss Guy.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. This is the Brunch Gimmick. I am Laurence Cartier. We are live. It is Sunday, finally the end of January, February 1st, 2026. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone had a great week, great weekend. We've got Zach in the chat saying that tomorrow is International Zach Minger Day. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday, Zach. Hope you have a great day, a great weekend celebrating your birthday. I actually had a pretty good week. On Wednesday, I went to the Montreal Victoire, which is our PWHL team, the Professional Women's Hockey League team game. It was their last game before the Olympics. So it was like their send-off game. And there's also bobblehead night. And I got this little guy here. Music's still on. Uh-oh. Lawrence didn't shut off the music. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Wasn't listening. I had my headphones off. I wasn't listening. How much of that did you guys hear? No, I lost the stick. But yeah. I went to the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League game. It was their send-off before the Olympics. Thank you for that, Sandy, by the way. Sandy, guten Tag, how's your week? The that was a lot of fun. And after the game, they had a ceremony for everyone who was on both teams who are going to the Olympics. So like they would call them out by country. Of course, the majority of them were Canadian on the Team Canada, as they're all heading to the camp right before the Olympics. And there was a nice little ceremony after the game of all the Olympians heading off to Italy. And that was a really fun time. And yesterday, actually Thursday and yesterday, it was actually Zach saying it's his birthday. It was my brother's birthday, my older brother's birthday. So yesterday he had a party and we watched the Royal Rumble there, which was interesting, especially like for the men's Royal Rumbles when the party was like getting more and more people getting in there. So what, like for me, listening to people's reaction to non-wrestling fans' reaction to different people was a lot of fun. And we will get into that in 1 second. The totality of this 4-match card, which will have some lasting impact and like unexpected. It wasn't personally, I think it was like a C+ to B Royal Rumble. I didn't hate it. It was like, it wasn't the best, wasn't great. Like there's some stuff I would have like, I don't know about the men's winner so much, but we'll get into that. Yesterday, Royal Rumble 2026 opens up with the women's Royal Rumble match. First off, there is no one I feel worse for having to wrestle in Saudi Arabia, having to wrestle outside under the like massive lights than the female wrestlers in full bodysuits. Like, there is nothing fun about that. I'm sure the relief you get when you get eliminated and are able to go to the back and just take that thing off. Like, just think, like 5 minutes into his match, Shinsuke has to take off his bodysuit. When he had the full bodysuit, he'd have to unzip that thing because he was too tired and sweaty. Like, some of these women were in there for 40 minutes under those hot lights inside the Saudi Arabian desert. Like, not counting the lights or anything, it was already 20 degrees at night there. So, like, and you've got to be active for a long period. Like, it was not easy. I felt bad for them. But they still put on a really good Royal Rumble. I really enjoyed the Royal Rumble. There's some standout performances that we need to get into as well. Like, and I will credit all the gear makers who did an amazing job to, especially like having to make gear that is very limiting, and has like a lot of set parameters, and finding creative ways to do different things with it was a lot of fun to see on that end. But the Women's Royal Rumble kicked off with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who like teased wrestling each other at first. Like they're sort of like almost like rolling around practicing, like going for each other's finisher and just pulling back like, no, I'm not actually going to do it. Then they decide to wait out to the remainder of the 2 minutes for the next participant. And Sandy has it right there. Kiana James, who I was very surprised. Like, I instantly thought when I saw it was going to be Charlotte and Alexa and then Kiana, I'm like, oh, Kiana's getting tossed in 2 seconds here. Like, and from the very second she hit that match, she immediately showed out. And is also showing, like, why is she a manager? Like, you should put more, like, it's funny. Like, we talked about Unreal last week. And they're like complaining, oh, we don't have this many people, or like, we don't have anyone for them to wrestle. I'm like, you have women there for them to wrestle. You just use them as managers. And you use them in the Royal Rumble finally this time because you needed people. But like 2 of them are managers who are very good, who are pretty good, like who can wrestle and who can use the more time in the ring. Like Kiana James could use more time in the ring. And she's already looked great during this. Honestly, that was one of the surprises for the Women's Royal Rumble match for me. Was just how well she looked. Because I when she hit the ring at number 3, I thought, again, Charlotte Flair, like your 2 biggest stars, your 2 like main event, like champion level stars, like this is a manager, they're gonna get tossed out. And she like not only didn't, but like she looked great, looked like she belonged. I quite enjoyed that. I think one of the other, like probably the MVP of the match is like probably the thing is the Lash Legend, who had 5 eliminations, just looked amazing throughout. You're talking about somebody who they're cementing, somebody who's just got called up to the main roster. And like part of me wants her to break away from Nia Jax and just be a single star, because she can be a champion on her own by like early next year, if not this year. Yeah, like somebody else, and Sandy just got ahead of me, was the next person on my list. Sol Ruka. Again, this is her second Royal Rumble, I believe. Looked great, was in the final 3 of the match. So, like, again, they've been doing this storytelling of people who are like the final 2, final 3, the runner-ups, are often the runner-ups the next year, are definitely, like, those are the people they are considering to win the Royal Rumble, or definitely, like, especially with who ended up winning this year, was the runner-up the last 2 years. Like Sol Ruka hitting those snow snatchers out of nowhere sometimes. Like the camera angles were well done. And honestly, like sometimes it's be truly like the RKO out of absolutely nowhere and hitting those soul snatchers. Like always looks great, but this was another star-making performance. I think next year she potentially wins it. But like she is somebody who, after the performance this year, you can put down as a potential winner for next year. Like if you betting odds. I also like the storytelling aspect in this match of the low-key legend Natty eliminating Becky Lynch from the match. I think that was really smart. Like I really like what they're doing with Natty right now. I'm happy they're I'm really happy they're bringing in her Bloodsport character that she was workshopping there and bringing it to WWE, because the character looks cool as hell. It gives her something to do, because it's probably one of the more interesting things she's had to do in like the last few years. And yeah, like I am 100% in on Natty being an Intercontinental Champion. I think you could have a very fun 3-way there. Between the 3 of them, and I think Natty should be the one to win that there. But yeah, like I like this story. I think you're gonna have a hell of a match there, potentially at WrestleMania, and a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. I'm quite enjoying what's going on with Natty. Also, we'll get into it. The winner of the match, Liv Morgan. I honestly felt this was the right call. Like this is one of the things. The women division is so stacked, and you've got so many good people there. Yeah, like that's just the problem with Saudi Arabia on the whole. Also, wait, before I get into the winner, there was a lot of people who I felt the stadium was insanely undersold. That didn't look great. And let's not look too deep into the stadium that was built in 30 days with, I'm sure, union labor and not at all slavery. Don't ask too many questions about that. It's just a miraculous thing that happened, like Triple H said. How amazing. But yeah, this crowd, like the Saudi Arabia crowd too, is usually really weird with different women's wrestlers and who gets pops and who doesn't. Like it's a very different crowd than like a North American crowd or European crowd at times. And also like the fact that the place was crazy undersold. You felt it at times. Like literally, as I had it on the TV at my brother's place, and it's like one of the first things everyone noticed was, why is this stadium so empty? Like, it was like, so that did not help to the sound. And especially like somebody played, I saw on TikTok right before this, somebody who was there was taking like video of like different people's entrances, and there literally no sound at all. Like no one reacted to some of the different entrances, which sucked, which took away from the Rumble on a whole. Out of surprises, Nikki Bella, like was sort of leaked online, and everyone assumed she was going to be there, but she was in pictures already, so everyone knew Nikki was there. But the real surprise being Brie Bella returning to WWE. Like that was one that got a huge pop, which like everyone there knew. Like that was a cool moment. The yes chants were a cool moment with the crowd. Like I'm very happy for Brie Bella making a return and getting a huge pop. Like that was a massive moment for her and for them. Like it was the most, probably one of the more surprising in both Rumbles. I think this very much sets up, like, hey, I'm just gonna say the idea. Yeah, this was disappointing, but again, like I'm fine with AGLA taking time off, like especially after like her dog dying and stuff. And Bianca might be still injured. I'm not sure what's going on there, but they I wouldn't be surprised if they're waiting for like for them to be in the Elimination Chamber match. But yeah, Brie returning was a very cool moment. I think this I'm gonna say my wish. I hope they do a like multi-man in ladder match for the women's tag titles, since you have like so many of these women's tag teams now and have like so many high profile names in the women's tag team division at this moment. I think it would be really cool. Like a lot of this Rumble was built around like 3 different teams feuding. So I think you could easily set up a either TLC or like a women's ladder match for the tag team titles, especially with the Bella Twins. Again, you don't know if this is just a one night thing, but I think it's clearly she's probably going to be here till Mania, at least have a Mania match. So I think it would be really cool if we do a ladder match with all the women for the women's tag titles, especially with the Bellas back for the first time in years. And that brings us to our winner, Liv Morgan. I think it was clearly, this is one of the times where the like betting favorites were quite clear it was going to be Liv, and it made sense. Liv being the 2-time runner-up. They finally pulled the trigger on her. It was finally her time. I think will deserve this, like her eliminating Raquel as well, and not. And I like when heels are heels about it too, and just like so. Although it could be seen as a turn as well, like her flipping Raquel over and out, and not being like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to do it." Just being like, "Yeah, I 100% meant this. Goodbye. This is the Royal Rumble match. This is the point of this match." Raquel acts shocked, like is completely blindsided by this. But I felt it was a good move. It's super interesting. Like, this is going to be the 1 millionth tease of the Judgment Day potentially breaking up. See if Raquel wins the title. I think either Raquel finds her way into that match, or they might settle it at Elimination Chamber. Like this might be the match. Fernando, how are you, by the way? Hope you're having a great weekend. I think that could be a potential Elimination Chamber match. They could probably build an Elimination Chamber match between the two. and sort of like settle some of their stuff there. But yeah, that was a great moment. I think the closing sequence was a lot of fun here. Like Sol Ruka. Yeah, that's what I said as well. Sol Ruka going for a soul snatcher on the outside, on the apron, and just getting shit canned, tossed to the floor. Was great. And then Liv Morgan holding onto the ropes and hitting the Oblivion for the win was a great finish. I forgot to mention I had JC Jane written down in my notes as well. Had also a really good showing. Those spots make me so I don't know how they do it, because by the end of that match, those ropes are probably as slick as they can be. And when your whole thing is predicated on, for the love of God, the wrong person cannot slip here, and we have to hold on to the ropes at the exact right moment. Like it is insane the level, how hard those are, and how they don't go as wrong as much as they should. But there was it was a fun Royal Rumble and all. I like what this brings up for the women's division on a whole, and I'm happy for Liv Morgan. Like, that is somebody you just always sort of cheer for, and just seems like a good person. Like, there was the shot, somebody put the one of the crowd videos that I saw was like the second Liv Morgan goes from like cutting a promo straight to camera, walking up the ramp, and the second they're out and the camera's cut, she like turns and immediately like breaks into tears, because you know how much this means to her. So congratulations, Liv Morgan, huge win. And yep, Fernando right there. We've got to go to the AJ Styles versus Gunther match. I enjoyed it. It's a slowly placed match, but I think the best part was the thing that happened on accident, which accidentally helped the intensity of this match, which is fairly early on, AJ Styles gets dumped onto the table and slices his arm, like pretty nasty gash on there. And like one of the things where like the blood helped the intensity of this match and helped sell this match. Like, it's like, I understand and fully get the argument that AEW bleeds too much, but conversely, I think WWE, the wrestlers don't use, like, them still being blocked from bleeding. I think also, like, it feels like their matches are too sanitized in a way. Like, I think there has to be a happy middle between both companies there. Like, there are some matches which can very much use blood, and this one, like, they got it by accident. And it helped, especially after that moment. The match felt more intense to me. I think, especially like just the part where Gunther is just chopping the hell out of AJ Styles, and you see his arm bleeding, his chest is just blue as hell. Like, he is taking a beating, and it helps sell the submission finish, like the choking him out, because you see the physical toll of this match on him, that blood's everywhere at this point. Like, it's becoming physically grueling the longer they go. And I agree, Fernando. It was this whole thing, like I said last week, it felt like I wanted AJ to win just because I wanted like a few more matches out of AJ. But at the second I was 100% convinced he wasn't going to win was that promo on SmackDown where he's like, we're going to have the AJ farewell tour. I'm like, this is clearly not, you need to, like, something about that just struck me like this is it. he's not getting this tour because like yeah, like AJ, like it's funny because at the end of the day, Shinsuke Nakamura spoiled the whole thing, or like his conversation with AJ being like, "No, I'm done after Royal Rumble." Yeah, it should like the build should have been more. I felt it was. Good morning, Boris. Hope all is well. Big bad Boris in the chat. Like the build for AJ Styles final at least WWE match. If you have time, like it wasn't terrible, wasn't the best, I would say. Like if you want something on the background while you do chores and stuff, it could be entertaining in different parts. But yeah, like you can see the physical toll of him getting choked out and passing out, which is always funny for me that when the referee decides when not to do the like 3 arm check thing to see if he's out is always weird to me because he literally like was asking AJ, and he wasn't responding and just checked his arm quickly and shaked his arm and saw he was out and called for the bell. And that's when like fully choking him out. I didn't hate this match. I feel like again it's a slowly paced match. I think what didn't help is the build to this AJ Styles match. Like this final match wasn't as good. Like it came out of nowhere right after we just finished like John Cena's tour, like John Cena's farewell tour. It's like we all thought, oh yeah, AJ Styles retiring this tour. We've got a few more months, but like it was almost shocking how quickly we got into it, and there was only like a few weeks in between the two. It was like wild. And like, oh, we've got to emotionally get ready or like think about this, and they didn't have much. Like it's just like, oh yeah, no, after this, I'm done. Like this is gonna be my final match. Like it was very strange. It happened super quickly. Again, what's going to be most talked about, especially after this match, and it's weird. Like it sucks. Like I get it's John Cena and the greatest of all time, but there's a lot of weird stuff with this for like I wish like hopefully on Raw potentially we can get it, that we get like an AJ Styles like tribute package. Like I think he is a legend that's deserving of that. But there was a lot of weird stuff that people clock was like I think both Peter Rosenberg on the post show and Triple H also said like AJ Styles is like done. Like he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, but those words have never come out of AJ Styles' mouth. I think the last he said was he was done with WWE. Like again, he could be done. Yeah, like I feel like there needs to be a speech or something. Like we need to hear from AJ Styles because also after getting an ovation from the crowd and going to take off his gloves, he puts them back on and poses and does the too sweet in the corner. Which again helps fuel speculation that he potentially isn't retired from wrestling. And that would I want to see him in AEW? Yes, I would like to see him at least have 1 or 2 more matches with either Omega, like even Takeshita. I would like to see him wrestle. Like there is a list of like 5 or 6 people, like Omega, Takeshita. Like I would like to see him wrestle Speedball once in AEW. Exactly. Like didn't leave the boots in the ring. So he left it open and it is pro wrestling, and people like the fact at least I haven't heard anything from him like Cena, where Cena was 100% committal. This is it. I am done from his mouth. Like I need to hear it from his mouth. Like I need to hear it from AJ Styles' mouth that he's done, because we heard it repeatedly for the last like year, and like since he announced that he's going to be retiring. Like Cena was like, I am not coming back after my last date. I am done. I am done pro wrestling. Like, I'm done wrestling in the ring. I'm fully like, I'm done with it. I'm man of my word. We haven't heard that from AJ Styles. Like, yeah, the glove thing was weird. Like, if you're gonna take him off, leave him in the ring, it helps fuel speculation. Like, his contract is coming up. So unless WWE signs him to a legend contract or something and tries to keep him there, I would not be surprised if we see him in AEW to wrestle like a few more matches and a few more like dream matches. I mean, part of that was just the, like, sometimes things just don't work out. And it doesn't work out on either end, where like it just wasn't, it might have been not the right time for either one to move, or WWE might not have had interest in that moment. Like he still had a 10-year run in WWE, which is great, which is like longer than a lot of people get, much longer than a lot of people get. Like, and had got to be WWE champion multiple times. Like, he had a great run in WWE. I think we can do a whole show about AJ Styles. Yep, Sandy. And breaking news, it's going to be me. I'm taking over Abe the Spot. I'm the new NXT GM. Turns out you can just apply for that on like Indeed or something. But yeah, like you can do a whole show about a career retrospective of AJ Styles, like his run in TNA and even just his run in WWE. Like, I'm happy he got to have a better match with Shinsuke on his way out too, because that WrestleMania one always disappointed me. But yeah, like that could be a whole show unto its own of his time in AEW. But yeah, after that match and after that little weird thing with AJ Styles, we had Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, and it went the exact way everyone thought it was gonna go. Like, I was a little disappointed with this one, just because I thought they would tease like I thought Sammy would get more false finishes out of this one. I thought he was gonna hit the Helluva Kick at least one more time and he was gonna kick out. I think they could have built more drama out of this. This match. Like, it sucks that it feels like they're doing the exact same story, Dawn story. Again, who knows? Because like they're probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the title on Roman and he carries it all the way to Mania to fight The Rock. At least one of them. But they're doing the same thing what they did with Sheamus in the Intercontinental title, where they make the story like he hasn't won the title and they have no intent on him actually winning the title. And they have like constantly falling short. Like, there is part of me like, man, would Sammy have been better off if the last time his contract was up, he would have been gone to AEW? Like, I kind of wish he did. But again, you do what's better for you and your family. And he was hot as hell at the time, like with the bloodline. So he's in the perfect like thing to negotiate his contract. But man, I just want once to see my dude win the title. And he like legitimately could lose it the next day. And like it wouldn't kill me, but I just want to see that moment once. And the fact I'm probably never going to see it, and they're probably never going to let him win either one of the titles is ridiculous. Like I'm not entirely out of hope. Like, maybe we don't know what's going to happen with Elimination Chamber. We're going to start finding out probably on Raw. or like probably not this week, but probably within the next couple weeks, we're gonna find out what title the champions are picking, because we don't know yet either one. What title belt there will be going after. And we'll get into the men's in a second. But yeah, this one finished with Sammy taking 2 straight Claymore kicks, which I also thought was smart from Drew McIntyre. I think he knew that Sammy was going to kick out of one. Like, I was expecting him to kick out of the one Claymore kick, but the second he went for a second one, I'm like, yeah, this is over. And yeah, Drew McIntyre, to like no one's surprise, retains the WWE Championship. Which leads us to the men's Royal Rumble match. Number 1, I wonder if they changed the order just because it got leaked the day before on SmackDown. But number 1, the ruler, Obafemi, which the second you saw him as number 1, I'm like, oh man, he's about to wreck shit. Again, presentation off rip looked amazing. Like, granted, it is Royal Rumble, so it's not going to be the same thing every time. They're giving him a more grandiose entrance. But, like, right off the jump, Obafemi looked like a star. And I knew something was up when, like, when Braun Breaker was number 2, even though that was announced in the pre-show. Like, in the pre-show, it was announced that Braun Breaker was going to be the second person to come in, and he comes in and he gets immediately jumped by, I swear to God, the hoodie sales they must have, unless they're all reusing the same shitty black hoodie. It's all Triple H knows what to do is, like, God, it must be the easiest paycheck in the world at this point. Although I know for a fact, like, a lot of people who have written, like, a lot, especially like there's comedians and stuff that have written for WWE that are like, who have all said, like, it will kill your love for wrestling working as a writer there. But it feels like being one of the higher up writers, the easiest job in the world, because you're just gonna be like, fuck it, mass man. And everyone's like, this man's a genius. He's cooking. It's either that or want to end it in a no DQ. In a disqualification. Motherfucker did it again. He's spitting. He's fully spitting. These DQ finishes just blows my mind. No one's gonna see that coming. So yeah, the speculation has begun of who underneath the mask. Is it Grayson Waller? Is it one of the other members of the Vision? Definitely. I wouldn't say it's Bronson Reed. Is it just a placeholder for Seth Rollins? Like, could this be somebody? Yeah, could it be Theory or Logan? Honestly, again, Austin Theory, still have yet to get into him. I don't know why. I still find him incredibly boring. It would be the more interesting thing here for it to be him. Yeah, it was clearly a white man. So I'm assuming it's not Montez, even though, God, I wish they would do something with Montez for Jesus Christ, make him a single star. Like, how many times doesn't matter. I'm not going into that right now, but Jesus Christ, dude. I think there's a chance that they know Seth is going to be cleared for Mania, so they just need a placeholder person to be in the mask, to be underneath the mask. to screw, like, to keep the story going. So there's a chance that it does end up being revealed to be Seth, but it also could be theory. Like, again, Logan Paul won't work as a babyface. Like, he's just naturally a piece of shit. That a lot of the hate he's getting as a heel isn't even because he's doing great heel work. It's just because people don't like him as a person, as a human being. So I don't think Logan would work as the person, I guess, breaking off into a new vision. Yeah, like, again, I hope it's somebody that's outside of this current vision faction that he's like recruited his own vision, like his new faction. That would be interesting as well. Like, if you're potentially getting Seth back for Mania, which I think at this point is a very good possibility, you could set up a match, potentially Elimination Chamber, to do that, or just do. You can also do that at Mania, and then Seth moves on for the whoever's heavyweight champion at that time. Yeah, like that I found was like a little shocking. Like, immediately got into it. Now, I was at a party watching this, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Like, I was at my brother's place. He was having his birthday party. Especially here, this match, though, like the vast majority of people there were not wrestling fans. So watching them react to different stuff and different people was great. Like, just immediately, one of my brother's friends who happens to be gay just immediately, like, turning and clocking it and be like, man, pro wrestling is wildly homoerotic. I'm like, yep, 100% it is. Like, and like, this is drag for straight guys. I'm like, yep, you've got it nailed 2 for 2 on your predictions there, bud. So it's really funny watching other people and react to different people. Maria, hello. Hope you're having a great weekend. That was fun for me, just being at a party and seeing people react to different people. Handsome Roman got over with everyone near the end. Like, it was fun, just people who don't watch and see who they naturally gravitate to was a lot of fun for me to watch at this party. But again, then Oba quickly eliminates Braun. And then Oba goes on a bit of a run, eliminating 5 people total, I believe, or 5 straight people, including Matt Cardona, Rey Mysterio. Yes, I did that off the front. I personally, like I said there, I like Liv Morgan winning. I think Lash Legend was the MVP of that match. Yeah, I would have liked to see Bianca, but like, clearly she's still injured or still or they're just saving her for either after Chamber or right before Chamber to come back. Also, he eliminated Rusev, which I'm sure Rusev is quite happy to be back in WWE now, losing every week there. But yeah, I wouldn't say the biggest surprise, but we were the most anticipated person to show up in the Rumble. Powerhouse Hobbs, formerly known as Powerhouse Hobbs, now known as Royce Keys, which honestly, the name already has grown on me. Because Royce is his son name and Keys is his mother's maiden name. And honestly, you're going to be printing 1 million Keys to Success shirt. Like Keys to Victory or some stuff. It is a name that could be easily marketed. He was the other person, outside of Obafemi, who got an immediate star treatment, which I really liked. Off rip, getting the pyro, his music didn't sound too generic off right away. I think the guitar riff and the thing at the beginning is immediately recognizable, which I think is important from a theme song music. So like the second those things happen, oh, it's Royce Keys. I think he looked great. I think they gave him a great showing throughout this match. Again, like I didn't think he was going to win, but like I like the big boy face-offs that happened quite a few times in this match. I think the most surprising thing for me was La Parka showing up. I'm like, that is like the weird spot of like you couldn't have put Finn Balor in this. You like La Parka being the one where I'm like, the other ones make sense, but like, and La Parka did look good in this, but like I felt you could have put Finn Balor in that position, even though you're trying to build a story of him being frustrated. It was just one of those things where like, man, you could have put somebody else there. This is probably the first time either ever like this is probably like the first time ever or in a long time that I've enjoyed the El Grande Americano thing, the face off between El Grande Americano and original El Grande Americano. What was fun, and I like it. I think this has to build to a mask versus mask at Mania. I think the money's there. Like, yeah, Chad with the beard and the long hair was weird. Like almost like a dye. It almost looked dyed too. But I think this has to build to a mask versus mask between the two. And I think both of those guys can put on a hell of a match. And like the potential of that I think would be like a money match at Mania. Here's the thing. I get why you do that. But man, like throughout this match was once again, like there is no need for Brock Lesnar. He has arguably been a net negative since his return. Like he didn't do much in that match that literally any of the other big men there. They already have those, like he's already been replaced by so many other big men who can do almost the exact same thing he can at this point because he is a lot older than when he was, and he gets blown up within like 2 German suplexes, and then he's just gasping for air and red as all hell. Like there are younger, more athletic big men in there who can do the exact same thing and get us like. I would rather see, like again, Brock Lesnar is the bigger name, I think, but I'd rather see Oba versus Royce Keys. Like, give me that like dream match right there. That would be a hell of a 2 big bad match. Like you've been looking at both of them, one in NXT, one in AEW for the last little while. Give me that match at Mania. Like that match is gonna be a lot more fun. Like throughout the whole Royal Rumble, he didn't do much, and for him just to get eliminated during Jey Uso's entrance was chef's kiss. Like Oba 2, I thought like Oba elimination was like a little random there, and like it felt a little rushed near the end. God, I only willing that Gunther takes him out too. That would be, he would turn babyface 100% at that point. This would be the one retirement where everyone, like him and Goldberg, where there'd be the 2 where everyone is like, "Yep, you're doing God's work here." Yeah. Throughout this whole thing, I felt Brock didn't add anything. In fact, took away from the match. Like you had at the end, you had Logan Paul, who again they are the jump scare. The last few years, they've been doing this every year. Logan Paul is near the end of the match, and I want to shoot myself in the head that the potential they might make him. Like I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Royal Rumble next year, and that's their like headline match for their Blood Money Mania event. But like Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and I wouldn't say a dream match, but still a like big match, which like it's more for like online wrestling nerds who like NXT versus AEW, but like it would still be a very cool match to see on a card. But yeah, like and Gunther. I think before that, Cody Rhodes getting eliminated by Drew McIntyre, who showed up out of nowhere just to deliver a claymore to the side of his head. Again, further building, and you had Jacob Fatu, and for a second I thought Cody was going to be so filled with hate that he was going to plancha over the top rope to take out Jacob Fatu as he's coming to the ring. Like, I thought he was going to straight up eliminate himself just to knock out Jacob Fatu. But yeah, you're once again continuing the story between Drew McIntyre, Cody, and Jacob Fatu. Yeah, I think it's going to be a triple threat at some point at this. Like, we will get into the finish because it is in a second. But yeah, I was kind of hoping Gunther would win this because like it would have been very much the Brock Lesnar path of like, we built you, like we've given you a big win, like legendary victories, and we're going to give you the title. Like, it felt like they were building to that when Gunther showed up at number 30. So I was a little surprised and a little disappointed that Roman won the Royal Rumble, solely because it's kind of a shrug. It's one of those, like, Roman is one of those people who can just show up and just immediately be in the title picture, and you don't really argue against it because it's Roman Reigns. So I don't think he needed it. I don't think it built him. It didn't build a new star at all. But yeah, Roman Reigns eliminating Gunther and is now heading to WrestleMania, which, again, this plagues an interesting question because, like, as I just mentioned, you've got Drew McIntyre clearly in a feud with Cody and Jacob Fatu. You've got Roman Reigns, who, when he was champion, spent his entire a good part of his run just bad-mouthing this new title and saying it's clearly the secondary title. It doesn't matter to him. It's the consolation prize title because you can't beat Roman. So, like, Roman and Punk would make the most sense because it is a marquee matchup. It is the type of thing you could put up, like, everyone could see the poster in their head. It is the obvious matchup. It's just, it was killed by the fact that they've got to find a way. Like, why would Roman be interested in that title, a title he thinks and has been saying is secondary this entire time? Like, it would make more sense if, like, Punk was WWE champion. So, like, this thing, again, we'll find out more tomorrow on Raw. Hopefully it starts clearing things up what title he's going to go after. Because the less clouded field right now is him and Punk. And it also is like the marquee big name matchup you want for for WrestleMania. Yeah, but he also badmouthed it for so long and buried that title. Like, he'd have to do a little bit of mea culpa there and has to explain why he now wants that title. Either he just wants it for his mantle and to, like, prove something. Like, I think they can build it. I think there can be enough story between him just wanting to beat CM Punk one-on-one, like him, like, the story could not be the title. It could just, they can pivot to just being, the crest of the story could be him just hating Punk and just wanting to beat Punk, like these two former Paul Heyman guys, and the fact that they want to go one-on-one with each other. That could be the story, because I think it makes the most sense. Either they close off this Jacob Fatu Cody Rhodes Drew McIntyre at Elimination Chamber, and then at WrestleMania, Drew fights him, which would be weird, which I don't quite understand. Yep, the Z-Bros. Z-Bros main event, Z-Bros supremacy. That's why you always, everyone knows you've got to watch Zootopia to get all the storylines in WWE. So, like, that part is interesting and up in the air. Yeah, I'm just left like, Roman didn't need this. Like, I wish somebody else would have won this. It would have been like, even Gunther would have been a more interesting person to win the Royal Rumble, and just been like, that would have been the like true, like, for somebody that was already heavyweight champion for a long time. Like, Gunther, it would almost feel like he's getting the rocket ship again strapped to his back. But like, again, he didn't need the victory either. And like, Roman being back is the type of thing where like, we need to sell this pay-per-view. It makes sense. Like, Austin won it 3 times. It didn't need to win it 3 times. This is, I believe, Roman's second victory. I don't think it's his third. I think it's definitely his second Royal Rumble victory. Yeah. I think Punk would want his own solo main event also, of at least one of the nights of Mania. Which is funny because it's still saying that it's going to be that the Royal Rumble victor at this point is going to main event WrestleMania has been proven fundamentally untrue. Like, saying that in the women's match was especially like, come on, dude. You're really going to make the women's match the main event of one of the nights, because it's obviously you're going to put either one of the men's heavyweight titles there and the second one on the second night, or like a Roman thing. Like, you can't be trusted to put that as the main event. LA Knight's an interesting choice, but again, I don't think they see him as heavyweight champion. I think they see him as somebody sort of like Sammy, that's always going to be, that the crowd loves, but is always going to, like, at the end of the day, lose that thing. Sadly. Like, I would be happy. Like, hey, somebody I interviewed once to win the heavyweight title would have been cool as hell. But yeah, I think that's the other big thing out of the thing. No Jericho. I think Jericho is enjoying the attention and dragging this out as long as possible. And B, I think at this point, there's a good chance he stays at AEW. I think the fact that AEW hasn't taken him off the roster page yet is quite telling. I think he potentially comes back to AEW. Part of me thinks he didn't like that it spread that he was going to retire, that they wanted to retire him at WWE. And like, I don't think he wanted to retire, and he necessarily wanted to retire. So part of me is like, he didn't like that and might stay at AEW just because of that. Like, I believe they should. It's just like the WWE cannot be trusted to go by their own logic that the women's match should be the main event. But hopefully one of the 2 nights it should be. I'm hoping it does. But yeah, that's going to do it for our show this week. I appreciate everyone for hanging out. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Royal Rumble. I had, especially when the party packed in by that point, I was having a great time watching the men's match because I was listening to everyone's reaction to it. And everyone actually got into like the last match a lot. So it was a lot of fun. I'll be back here next week talking about what potentially will be a clearer heavyweight title picture. A little more AEW news next week, hopefully. And also, right after this, Alex Lajas is doing a fundraiser, is doing the weekly Church of Joshi and raising money for, I forget the exact charity, but it's like an immigrant defense charity for people affected by the ICE raids. So go over to her channel on Twitch and YouTube. And if you can, donate some money to help some people out, because she's raising money for a great cause. I just wanted to shout that out at the end of the podcast. I am not going to Chamber in person. Hopefully, I think Wrestle Dream and AEW is probably the next pay-per-view because I keep hearing that Wrestle Dream is going to be in Toronto, although I've seen no official announcement yet. And that's supposed to be Edge's last match ever. I keep hearing that rumor that Edge is going to be retiring this year as well, and his last match is going to be at Wrestle Dream in Toronto. So we will see. That's probably the next pay-per-view I go to because there isn't going to be one in Canada, and I'm not going to the United States. That's right, Maria. 100%. And one of the many reasons I'm not going to the United States anytime in the near future. But I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me again. And we'll see you back here next week for the breakdown of both Raw and SmackDown and hopefully a clearer future. I'll see you back here, guys, next week. Bye, guys.